All right, I'm just on a little pause here, so I want to take a moment to tell you how not to get caught in a lie. Yeah, how not to get caught in a lie. Now, there's one easy way to do it. Don't lie. But if you have to lie and you're going to lie, we got an example of how to do it. Let's take a look at how the government does it. Do it like the government. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Habariza Sabui, Habariza Mchana, Habariza Gioni, brothers and sisters all over the world. The name of this channel is The African Times, and I'm Thomas. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whichever part of the day this message finds you. Here's a quick update, everybody. Just again on the political note, there was a very interesting slip up, maybe, that occurred in the U.S. during a press conference. It seems that you guys are all aware of the Ukraine war, or as Russia called it, a special military operation, and I think maybe even that has changed now. Their attitude may be that it's simply a flat-out war at this time. In either case, whatever they choose to call it, this conflict, guns and weapons and things like that are being utilized. Well, the president, it seems that a couple of days ago, the president of Ukraine, a fellow by the name of, I think, Zelensky, that may be how you pronounce it. I'm sure you guys have heard about it because the media makes it a primary issue for discussion. So, as it turns out, this brother was able to come to the U.S. the other day to meet with President Biden, which is interesting because it comes right on the heels of the African summit. But anyway, he comes and he's, they do that thing where both parties are at a platform speaking. And they each say their little part. Well, Mr. Zelensky, he was speaking in whatever his native tongue is. And there was an interpreter. And the interpreter was interpreting what he was saying. And I think this was live. It's pretty live. So she was interpreting what he was saying. It got to a point where he was saying thank you to the U.S. for $55 billion, I think. And we're going to have to look into that. I think it's 54 billion or some amount like that, which is another interesting thing because they were talking about 55 billion for Africa. 54 countries, 55 billion. But for this brother, one country, 55 billion. So we're going to have to look into that because I'm not sure. When I heard that, I was like, that's interesting. So anyway, the interpreter, she is listening to him. Now, he's reading from a pre-written statement, a script, basically. And you can clearly see him looking down. He's reading it. So I would imagine, and I could be wrong, the interpreter, I would imagine she would have the script also. Don't you think? Okay, all right. Well, listen. She made a very important slip up. Now, they use this term that they call Freudian slip, which I guess is supposed to indicate that, I don't know, maybe the slip wasn't it was some kind of real revelation of what was really going on in the mind or what's really happening, and she slipped up and said it. Well, let me just not hold you back. Let me let you hear what she said. Okay, hold on one second.
And I hope that the Congress will approve this financial assistance for our crime. Thank you, Mr. President, for $45 billion. because this is a big assistance, and I hope that the Congress will approve this financial assistance for our crime.
Okay. Did you hear that? Did Did you hear that? She said, "Thank you for this, basically helping us with this crime." Crime. And then she said, she immediately changed it to country. Country. Crime and country. Crime and country? Helping this country? Helping with this crime. I just gotta tell you, I'm really, really, really at a loss here for how those two could be mixed up together. I just don't know how that can happen. Maybe helping us at this time, maybe. And I'm only talking about because it sounds similar, and maybe helping us at this time. But crime and country, woo, that's a tough one for me to kind of put together. So anyway, well, let me let you hear just one more time. I just really want you to hear this. Listen to this again. Hold on.
Assistance for our crime country. This is almost 45 billion. Assistance for our crime country. This is almost 45 billion. Good negotiation and talks about our strategic steps, which we discussed with President Biden, and what we expect next year and for what we are preparing. This is very important for all Ukrainians, and I am hopeful. And once again, thank you, Mr. President, for 45 billion, because this is a big assistance, and I hope that the Congress will approve this financial assistance for our crime country. This is almost 45 billion. Thank you very much for the support. Every dollar of this investment for the...
Okay. You heard it again, right? Oh man. So I just don't know. I just don't know how that's done, but it's interesting to see in the next few days how they're gonna spin it, how they're gonna spend it. I don't know. Now it's interesting because I don't know if I did a video on it. I'm gonna have to look and see. But there was a situation where, during the summit, I guess President Biden had said he was going to give Africa some amount of money, 355 billion. And then they came back later. I think it was being reported, and I got to look. I got to check. So, but I'm just telling you what I think that I've heard, and I got to look into it. But they changed it from 350. They changed it from 355 billion to 355 million. So it's a lot of changing going on. A lot of making mistakes. A lot of oopsie. So, all right, let me get off there. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Uhuru. Oopsie.
Assistance for our crime country. This is almost 45 billion. Assistance for our crime country. This is almost 45 billion.